Welcome back to our channel, besties. I hope you are all having an absolutely fabulous day because mine has just been completely derailed by the sheer chaos of Genoa City. Grab your snacks and buckle up because we have so much to unpack today. My jaw is literally on the floor right now. I mean, I am staring at my screen and my brain is basically a buffering wheel trying to compute the absolute madness that just went down on our screens. Besties, we need to hold a literal intervention right now because I am shaking, I am screaming, and I am low-key spiraling into another dimension. If you told me yesterday that we were going to get a courtroom showdown of this magnitude, I would have laughed in your face, but here we are. Hitting record at 3 a.m. with bloodshot eyes because Patty Williams has just been sentenced to 30 years in prison. 30 actual years. I am not okay. I am literally ascending into the stratosphere right now. We need to talk about this because if I don't trauma dump this entire experience onto the squad who actually gets the vision, I am going to spontaneously combust. Totally. We have to start with the man of the hour, the absolute architect of this destruction, Kyle Abbott. Hot take, but I am actually ascending at how Kyle just completely hijacked this entire storyline and delivered the most devastating mic drop in the history of this franchise. Is it just me, or did they completely fumble the bag on Kyle for the last few years, making him this predictable corporate robot, only to suddenly unleash this ruthless, unhinged avenger? Kyle marched into that courtroom looking like he owned the entire justice system of Wisconsin, and he did not come to play. He came to end careers, lives, and legacies. When Kyle took that stand, you could literally feel the temperature in the room drop to absolute zero. He didn't just expose a secret. He dropped a nuclear bomb on Patty Williams that completely obliterated any chance she had of ever seeing the outside of a padded cell again. I am high-key obsessed with this villain era or hero era or whatever chaotic neutral era Kyle is in right now, no cap. Then we have to talk about the actual shocking truth that Kyle exposed, because my brain is still leaking out of my ears trying to process the sheer audacity of this plot twist. Kyle didn't just find a missing text message or a forged signature. No, this man went full FBI behavioral analyst and uncovered a labyrinth of deception that Patty has been weaving for months. The fact that Kyle revealed Patty was the one secretly orchestrating the entire psychological warfare campaign against the Abbott family from the shadows, using burner phones, untraceable shell companies, and a network of underground contacts while pretending to be completely incapacitated at Fairview, I am screaming. The gag of the century. Kyle laid out the receipts, the bank transfers, the audio recordings, and the absolute undeniable proof that Patty was not just having a relapse, but was executing a masterclass in premeditated vengeance. He literally pulled back the curtain and showed everyone that the poor, misunderstood Patty routine was a calculated, lethal weapon. Mainly, the way this scene was shot deserves an actual Emmy, an Oscar, and a Grammy just for the sound design of my heart palpitating. The camera panning to Patty's face when Kyle hit play on that secret recording, cinema, pure cinema. You could see the exact microscopic second where Patty's carefully constructed facade completely shattered into a million jagged pieces. She didn't just gasp. Her eyes went completely vacant, and then that terrifying, familiar, unhinged Patty Williams smile slowly crept onto her face. I was clutching my pearls, my blanket, and my emotional support water bottle because it was a total jump scare. The actress absolutely devoured that scene, leaving no crumbs whatsoever. When the judge slammed that gavel and said the words 30 years, the scream that Patty let out will literally haunt my nightmares for the rest of my natural-born life. 30 years, you guys. In soap opera time, that is basically an eternity, which means they are locking her away and throwing the key into the center of the earth. Wait, I'm literally yapping right now, but let's go down a random storytime rabbit hole for a second, because the Day One stands know exactly how deep this trauma goes. Do you guys remember the Mary Jane Benson era? The stuffed cat? The absolute reign of terror she unleashed on Jack Abbott and literally anyone who breathed in his general direction? Patty has always been my problematic fave because she brings a level of chaotic camp to Genoa City that nobody else can replicate. She is the blueprint for unhinged obsession. I remember watching her sneak around in those ridiculous disguises back in the day, thinking she was the ultimate mastermind. But this new revelation that Kyle exposed makes all her past crimes look like child's play. She was playing 4D chess while the rest of the Abbotts were playing checkers, and it took Kyle, of all people, to finally checkmate her. Let's get back to the actual tea, though, because the fallout of this is going to be astronomical. Yet, I have to switch up my stance mid-sentence because, wait, am I actually feeling sorry for Patty? My emotions are hitting hard, and my brain is basically a buffering wheel right now. Part of me is like, yes, lock her up. She is a literal menace to society who has caused generational trauma for the Abbott family. But then another part of me is like, did the system fail Patty Williams? Is it just me? Or did they completely fumble the bag on giving her a proper redemption arc? No! What am I saying? She literally tried to destroy everyone. I am oscillating between pure hype for Kyle's savage takedown and total disbelief over the massive pivot the writers just took with Patty's character. 30 years is a massive sentence, and it low-key feels like the writers are definitively closing the book on one of the most iconic, terrifying villains this show has ever produced. Totally, we need to analyze Jack's reaction in that courtroom because it was a masterclass in silent devastation. Jack Abbott, the man who has spent decades caught in the toxic, suffocating web of Patty's obsession, having to sit there and watch his own son be the one to finally put her away. The camera held on Jack's face for what felt like an hour, and you could see the ghosts of his past flashing before his eyes. He looked relieved, horrified, and completely broken all at the same time. Kyle didn't even look at his father when he delivered the final blow. He just kept his eyes locked on Patty with his cold, dead stare. It was giving major Succession vibes, like Kyle was officially taking the throne as the ruthless protector of the Abbott dynasty, and Jack was just a relic of the past, watching his son become a monster to defeat a monster. I am literally hyperventilating just thinking about the psychological implications of this dynamic shift. And let's talk about the absolute glaring plot holes that are making my blood boil right now, because you know I have to roast this show when it deserves it. How on earth did Patty orchestrate this massive conspiracy from a high-security psychiatric facility? Are you telling me that not a single nurse, doctor, or security guard noticed that this woman was running a dark web syndicate out of the arts and crafts room? I am literally screaming into the mic. It makes absolutely zero sense. Did they completely fumble the bag on the logistics here? Yes, absolutely. But am I going to ignore it because the drama is so piping hot? Also, yes! But still, the writers need to be held accountable for this lazy exposition. Kyle just conveniently finding a pristine USB drive with all of Patty's confessions neatly organized in labeled folders. BFFR. Be for real right now. It was giving major Deus Ex Machina, but I will allow it because the payoff of that 30-year sentence was just too delicious to complain about for too long. Mainly, the implications of this 30-year sentence are going to ripple through Genoa City for years to come. With Patty locked away for 3 decades, a massive power vacuum has just opened up in the villain department. Who is going to step up and provide the unhinged, chaotic energy that we so desperately need? Kyle has basically proven that he is not to be trifled with, and anyone who even looks at the Abbott family wrong is going to end up in a maximum security prison. This completely changes Kyle's trajectory. He is no longer the golden boy, he is the executioner. I am low-key terrified of him now, and I think everyone else in town should be too. The way he smirked, just a tiny microscopic smirk when the guards dragged Patty away. Chills. Literal chills. Besties, I need you to flood the comments right now because I cannot carry the weight of this episode alone. Are you Team Kyle and his ruthless era, or do you think Patty was done dirty by the writers with this sudden massive prison sentence? I am literally shaking, oscillating between pure hype and total devastation, and I need my ride or die squad to validate my feelings. This franchise has been my entire personality since the Stone Age, and episodes like this are exactly why I can never, ever escape the absolute chokehold it has on me. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and let's trauma dump in the comments because Genoa City will absolutely never be the same after today.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.